Hey everybody, and welcome back to the garage. If you're anything like me, you've put off all of your holiday shopping till the absolute last minute, and it's getting down to the wire. So I went ahead and I made a list of all of the things that I would absolutely love to get as a gift, and I made sure that they are still available on Amazon so you can get them delivered to your house before Christmas if you act fast. So, without further ado, let's get going down through my list. So the first thing on my list is definitely going to be Shop Class for the Soulcraft by Matthew Crawford here. I found this through Van Neistat on his channel Spirited Man. Absolutely amazing book. Let me just read one little excerpt, and I think it'll talk to anybody that spends some time in the garage. To be master of one's own stuff. Consider the case of a man who is told that his car is not worth fixing. He is told this not by a mechanic, but by a clipboard-wielding service representative at a dealership. Here's a layer of bureaucracy that makes impossible a conversation about the nitty-gritty of the situation. This man would gladly hover around the mechanic's bay and be educated about his car, but this is not allowed. The service representative represents not so much mechanical expertise as a position taken by an institution. And our spirited man is not sure he trusts this institution. Maybe they want to sell him a new car. He hates the feeling of dependence, especially when it's a direct result of his not understanding something, so he goes home and starts to take the valve covers off his engine to investigate for himself. Maybe he has no idea what he's doing, but he trusts that whatever the problem is, he ought to be able to figure it out in his own efforts. Then again, maybe not. He may never get his valve train back together again, but he intends to go down swinging. Number 2 on my list is something that I use constantly, and it's a 1/4 inch torque wrench that's measured in inch pounds and Newton meters. And it's under $50. It's pretty hard to beat. Number 3 on the list is this well-worn pair of pliers that I got from Irwin. I've used these on almost every project in the garage, and they kind of show it. They're great for grabbing, they're great for cutting. They've got a nice little cutting edge right here. And then they're nice and thin at the tip and serrated, so they grab really well. Comfortable in the hand, and they're super cheap. I think these are like $8. So if you have a loved one that's doing any mechanical work on small engines, the Tusk clutch holder is something I highly recommend. It uses these 2 dowels to hold the rotor, so you can get a firm grip, a locking grip, on the rotor side, and then you can break any nuts free or torque nuts on the opposite side of the crankshaft. So in the same vein as building small engines, a nice set of feeler gauges goes a long way. These are super cheap, and if you're doing any valve adjustments or checking ring gap, these come in handy, absolutely. It's even nice to have a few of these so you can bend some of the feelers to get into the hard to reach places. I have probably 3 or 4 sets of feeler gauges. Super cheap, and everybody loves them. If you've got somebody interested in cleaning, this parts brush does a great job. It's got super stiff bristles, so you can get in on little nooks and crannies and get all this dirt out. Look at that. Plenty in there. It floats in buckets, so if you're washing something, it just floats right to the top. You can grab it and scrub some more. I love it. Safety wire pliers. These are great. As soon as you get somebody these, they'll start safety wiring everything. If you've got somebody that does a lot of track days, they definitely need a pair. I've had these for ages. They've done several bikes. I mean, you can tell just from the finish that they've been around the block. They make it really easy. For all the dirt bike riders out there, these pillow top grips from Pro Taper are the best that I've ever ridden with. They don't last super long, but they're fairly cheap, so you can replace them pretty often. They are by far the most comfortable that I've had for endurance racing. I feel like every garage should be equipped with a cheap set of digital calipers. Great for measuring just about anything, between hole diameters and just lengths of bolts, everything. I wouldn't use these for hypercritical measurements because they're not that accurate. They're no Mitutoyos, but everything I've done and have transcribed over into 3D printing has been done with these, so they're accurate enough for most things. They've got a nice millimeter, inch, and fraction function, so however you want to measure, they'll do it for you. So last but not least, we have this Maxima quick to mix bottle. So this is perfect for getting your ratios on gas to oil. If you're running 2 strokes, you know how much of a pain that can be. This comes with delineations from everything from 100 to 1 down to 24 to 1. I used to be a huge fan of the ratio right, but in the garage what tends to happen is there's always a little bit of residual oil in there, and inevitably this will tip over and spill oil all over the place. At least with this bottle, comes with a cap, screw that on, don't have to worry about it. And there we have it. These are my 2021 picks for great stocking stuffers, small presents, anything in between for your local gearhead or your loved one. I want to wish everybody a happy holidays from my family to yours, and I'll see you on the next one.